You're not burnt out, you're bored with your own life. Same routine, same distractions, same empty evenings. And it feels normal. It's not. You're not tired, you're just stuck in low-quality days. The good news? That can change fast. So in this video, I show you how to make every day your best day ever, starting immediately. My friend, for a long time, my evenings were quietly killing me. Not dramatically, nothing bad was happening. I'd get home, drop my bag, and just disappear into whatever was easiest. YouTube, junk food, some game I didn't even care about. Killing time until bedtime felt justified. And what made it worse is that I wasn't completely checked out. I had a side project running, I was reading, watching the right videos, doing all the things that looked like growth from the outside, but I'd still come home most nights feeling like my real life was somewhere just ahead of me, like the actual version of me was right around the corner. I just needed to keep watching, keep planning, keep preparing. That corner never came, because let me tell you what nobody told me plainly. Preparation without execution isn't growth. It's just procrastination wearing a self-improvement costume. I wasted 2 years feeling busy while standing completely still. What finally changed things wasn't a new system. It wasn't stricter discipline or a better morning routine. It was something almost embarrassingly simple. One decision made on a random Tuesday afternoon that completely rewired how I spend my time and how I see myself. In the mid-20s, I've built things, broken things, and learned most of my lessons the expensive way. I make these videos because the stuff that actually moved the needle for me seems worth saying out loud. And this one, I needed to hear it years ago. Nobody said it to me directly, so I'm saying it to you. What I'm about to share didn't just fix my evenings, it fixed my relationship with myself. I'll walk you through exactly what I started doing, including a full week of real examples, but I need to flag something first that almost stopped me dead before I even tried. Because right now, as you're listening to this, a part of your brain is already building its case for why this won't apply to you. I need to deal with that before we go any further. My friend, go have experiences. Sounds great until you're standing in your hallway, not knowing where to start. So let me show you exactly what it looked like for me. Monday, set an alarm for 6 a.m., walked 20 minutes to a river spot near me that I'd driven past 100 times and never actually stopped at. Filmed a quick clip on my phone, sat there for 10 minutes. That was it. But starting the week before the city properly woke up, doing something intentional before the day had a chance to swallow me, set a tone that carried through everything else that followed. Tuesday, went to a park and did 100 pull-ups. Spread across a few sets, nothing heroic. But the point wasn't the fitness goal. I don't even track pull-ups. The point was doing something physically hard in public, around strangers, without any particular reason to be there. There's something that happens in your head when you do that. It's hard to explain, but it's real. A home workout in your bedroom doesn't replicate it. Wednesday, took a completely different bus home. Got off at a stop I didn't recognize. Walked around for 40 minutes. Ended up in a part of the city I'd driven through a dozen times and never actually set foot in. Talked to someone at a bus shelter while I was figuring out where I was. Nothing happened, and yet I got home that evening more switched on than I had been all week from doing nothing expensive or dramatic essentially. Thursday, stayed back after work, finished early, and joined a casual football game that was already going in the park. Didn't know a single person. Walked over, said I was in, played for an hour, left. That was all it took. And that kind of thing, the casual, low-stakes, social stuff, used to feel impossible to me. Now it just feels like a Thursday. Friday, walked around the neighborhood, deliberately looking for somewhere I hadn't filmed before. Found a spot about 10 minutes away, a cut-through I'd never noticed, despite living here for 2 years. Sat there, thought through a few things, filmed this video, done. None of that costs money, none of it required planning days in advance, or specific equipment, or the right group of people to do it with. It just required a decision the night before. Today is going to have something real in it. That's the whole commitment. And I want to be honest, when I first started doing this, some days the experience was genuinely small. A different coffee shop, a different walking route, a conversation I'd been putting off. It doesn't have to be cinematic. It just has to be real, and it has to be yours. Excuses don't announce themselves. They show up dressed as logic. I'm tired, I've got a lot on. Let me sort out the basics first. Every single one sounds completely reasonable from the inside. Every single one kept me on the couch for months. The truth is, excuses are just fear in a better outfit. Fear of wasting time on something that doesn't work. Fear of looking stupid. Fear of leaving a routine that feels safe, even when that routine is slowly making you miserable. The comfort zone isn't comfortable because it's good for you. It's comfortable because it's familiar. That's the trap. And familiar is the most dangerous word in your vocabulary when you're trying to change. Now here's what I need you to watch for. The moment I tell you what actually shifted things for me, your brain is going to fire back immediately. My schedule is different. My situation is different. I've tried something like this before. That reaction, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Notice it, name it, then ignore it, because that voice isn't protecting you. It's just running the same script it always runs when something real is about to happen. It's kept you safe. It's also kept you stuck. The only version of this that doesn't work is the one you never actually try. So before we go any further, make a decision right now. Not to be perfect, not to have it all figured out, just to stay open. That's where everything starts. And before I get into what actually changed things for me, I want to ask you something directly. What's the last thing you did that was slightly outside your comfort zone? Not planned, not considered, actually done. I've been paying attention to what people share in the comments, and there's a pattern there I find genuinely interesting. Drop it below. Your answer might be exactly what someone else needed to read today. My friend, strip everything back, and it comes down to one sentence. Every day, plan one real experience. Something that exists outside a screen. Something that requires you to physically show up somewhere and do something. That's it. Not skydiving, not a bucket list. I mean, walk somewhere new. Talk to someone you'd normally scroll past. Go to that place you've been meaning to check out for 6 months. One notch outside your usual Tuesday evening. The bar is supposed to be low, because a low bar you actually clear beats a high bar you keep postponing forever. Let me make this concrete. One afternoon, I walked into a random shop near my place. No reason to be there, no plan, and asked the person behind the counter if they'd give me something for free. No pitch, no charity angle. Just straight up, any chance I could have something for free today? They said yes. I walked out with a full meal, chicken, fries, everything. 30 seconds of mild awkwardness. That's all it cost. But here's where the shift begins. I learned in that one moment that most of the social situations I'd been avoiding my whole life were completely made up by me. The anxiety around asking, around putting myself out there, around risking a no, completely disproportionate to what it actually felt like to just do it. No book taught me that. No podcast came close. 5 minutes of real life did what years of consuming couldn't. That's the gap. You cannot think your way into that understanding. You have to go get it with your feet. Oh, and quick heads up. I recently launched YouTube memberships, and it's a way for us to connect a bit more directly. Members get things like priority replies and can even pitch in ideas for future content. If that sounds fun, I'd be honored to have you on board. Just hit that join button below. My friend, this is the trap that catches ambitious people hardest, and I say that as someone who fell for it completely. We treat consuming like doing. Watch a video on discipline and feel disciplined. Read about building something and feel like we're building. Close the podcast app and feel like we moved forward. We didn't. We just sat very still with a warm feeling in our chest. I did this longer than I want to admit. Notebooks stuffed with ideas. A watch later queue that was basically a second job. A list of habits I was working on that hadn't moved in months. And my actual life, the tangible, measurable, day-to-day reality of it, looked identical to what it looked like a year before. Nothing changed because I wasn't doing anything. The shift came when I stopped asking what I should learn and started asking what I should do. Not as a mindset exercise. Literally, what is one thing I can physically do today that isn't just more input? Because the hard truth nobody wants to say out loud is that you find out who you are by doing things, not by thinking about doing them. The version of yourself you actually want to be isn't hiding in the next video. It's not in the next chapter. It's waiting on the other side of real actions taken in the real world over real time. The gap doesn't close through content. It closes through reps. Information without action is just entertainment, and you've been entertained long enough. I used to have habits I wasn't proud of. Nothing dramatic. Just the quiet kind that pile up when nobody's watching. Nothing dramatic, just the low-level stuff that quietly accumulates. 4 hours of content I didn't even enjoy. Eating when I wasn't hungry. Phone in hand every 5 minutes for no reason. Gaming way past the point where it was fun. The occasional relapse into things I'd told myself I was done with. I tried fighting them directly. Screen time limits. Deleted apps. Cold turkey. Made rules. Some of it held for a week, maybe 2. Then I'd slide straight back. Because nothing underneath had changed. Discipline didn't fix it. Removing what was creating the need for those habits in the first place did. Think about what numbing actually is. It's a response to restlessness. And restlessness comes from having energy with nowhere real to point it. You get home, your brain is still running, nothing meaningful happened to spend it on, so it finds an outlet. Screens, food, the familiar escape route. Not because you're weak, because that's what unspent energy does. It finds somewhere to go. But when your day has a real experience in it, something you actually showed up for, did, came back from. You don't come home restless. You come home spent in the right way. There's nothing to numb because there's no restlessness left to numb. The itch just isn't there. My friend, no amount of discipline fills an empty space. The habits come back because the void is still there. The daily experience filled that space. That's the actual mechanism. Not willpower, not rules, not another deleted app. Once I understood that, the habits started losing, and I didn't have to fight them at all. Everything I've covered so far is useless without this next part. This is where most people nod along, close the video, and do absolutely nothing. Don't be that person. What comes next is the only thing standing between you and a genuinely different tomorrow. Tonight, not this weekend, not when things settle down. Tonight. Write down one experience for tomorrow, one real thing, slightly outside your normal. That's the entire assignment. It doesn't need to be impressive. It doesn't need to make a good story. It just has to actually happen. If you're drawing a blank, walk somewhere you've never walked. Go into a place you've passed 100 times and never entered. Strike up a conversation with someone you'd normally scroll past. Ask for something you'd normally assume is a no. Any of those work. The specific thing matters less than this. You decided on it the night before, and then you went and did it. The decision plus the follow-through. That's the whole thing. Here's the part most people skip. After you do it, write one sentence about what you noticed. Not a journal entry, one sentence. What surprised you? What you felt? What landed differently than you expected? That's where the experience stops passing through you and starts stacking into something real. The doing is the experiment. The sentence is the finding. One without the other, and nothing actually changes. Now here's what I need you to hear before you close this video. The timing will never feel right. There will always be a reason today is slightly inconvenient. That feeling doesn't go away. You just stop waiting for it to do it anyway. It gets easier. Keep waiting for the right moment. It never comes. You already know which one you've been doing. Time to pick the other one. I'm not going to oversell it because I think a lot of self-improvement content does that, and it just creates pressure that makes people quit. After a week, you'll feel better, sharper, more present, like you actually lived that week rather than let it happen to you. You'll have a handful of real moments you can actually think back on, and that matters more than it sounds, because most weeks leave nothing. After a month, something structural shifts in how you see yourself. You stop being someone who's about to start doing things and become someone who does them. You've got actual proof of that, not beliefs, not intentions, but real moments where you showed up and did something. That's a different kind of self-image. It's built from evidence, and evidence compounds. Every experience adds another data point. I went somewhere new, I talked to a stranger, I tried the thing I'd been putting off, I asked and got a yes. Those stack up into a version of yourself that's genuinely more capable, not because your circumstances changed, but because you now know from actual experience what you're capable of. What follows from that is different for everyone. For me, it meant ideas I'd been sitting on became things I actually pursued. Conversations I'd been avoiding became ones I had. Situations that would have felt out of reach started feeling like things I could just go do. That's what this is really building. Not a list of activities, but a different relationship with what's possible for you. One experience a day. Stack them. The person you want to be stops being a future projection and starts being what you are now. The version of your life you actually want to be living isn't locked behind a better plan or a clear schedule or a mindset you haven't found yet. It's on the other side of going outside and doing something real today. I spent a good stretch of time convinced the answer was somewhere in my head. The right framework, the right thinking, the right input that would finally make things click. And then I walked into a random shop, asked a question that took 30 seconds, walked out with a free meal, and realized I'd been making this wildly more complicated than it needed to be. The gap isn't in your thinking, it's in your doing. And the reason doing feels hard isn't because you're not ready, it's because starting always feels harder than it turns out to be, every single time. The awkwardness you're imagining is almost never as bad as the real thing. The discomfort you're bracing for usually dissolves within a minute of actually being there. Your brain is a terrible predictor of how experiences will actually feel. So whatever reason it's offering you right now for why tomorrow is a better day than today, it's wrong. Not maybe wrong. Actually wrong. Today is the day. The hours between now and when you go to sleep tonight are real, available, and yours. Something real and slightly uncomfortable fits inside them. That thing will do more for how you feel about yourself than another hour of content ever will. Write down one experience, go do it, come back tomorrow, do it again. That is the whole thing. That is how this works. Most people will watch this, nod, and do nothing. That's not a criticism, that's just the data. Consuming feels like progress. It isn't. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't made of missing information. It's made of avoided action. You already know enough. You've known enough for a while now. The only question left is whether today is the day you stop treating your life like something that's about to start. It already started. You're just not showing up to it. There's a community in the description, people actually doing this, not just thinking about it. Come join if you want that energy around you. If you found this video helpful, this next video right here will take you even further. Your choice, your life, start now.